Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday morning. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. So guys, I told you guys I would not be making too many recordings on vacation, but my conviction says otherwise. So I got something very heavy in my spirit this morning, and I want to share this with you guys. If you saw that title and you gravitated towards it, then possibly it's for you. Your fear will keep you broke. Your fear will keep you broke. Of course, we've been conditioned to think that the only way for us to make a living, right, is to, of course, you go to school, go to college, you graduate, you work a 9 to 5, be beat down tired, maybe have the weekends off, you retire, you sit on your rocking chair, and you meet Jesus. Now, if that's the life you live and you're happy with that life, if you're fulfilled with that life, amazing. But there's a lot of people who are not fulfilled with that life. They feel like there's more. They're spinning their wheels, literally getting up every morning, going to work this excruciating job, a job that they don't even love, just to go home, be tired, get the family together, wake up the next morning and do it all over again. Again, if you love your job and you love what you're doing, amazing. If I'm honest, I've been blessed to say that I have been able to love all of my jobs, with the exception of one, but I didn't stay there long, all of my life. Now, I am a longevity type of person, so if I'm going to be on a job, I'm going to be on that job for a long time. But I'm going to be watching and learning so I can apply it for my own, that type of thing. But I have to be honest to say I've been blessed to always love what I do. And I know that's not for a lot of people. Some people literally hate their job. And that's a horrible feeling, to pull up to a job every day and sit in your car and watch everyone walk in, and you're just sitting in that car like, I don't even want to go in this building. Same thing with some marriages. It's like you pull up in the driveway, I don't even want to go up in this house. That's not living, that's surviving. When you're chosen, there's a whole different path for you, which is the path of your purpose. Your purpose will lead you to wealth because you're chosen to do a certain thing, and that thing is what people needs from you. So instead of working for someone else, your purpose will work for you. But what does the enemy do? He targets the one area that we're called in, that we're chosen for. The area that he is making you the most insecure in, the area that he's telling you a lot of lies in. Oh, you would never make it, no one wants to hear it, you're not important, all this nonsense. That's the one area where you really need to be putting some extra gruff in. Literally ask God to give you grace in that area. The most thing that I hear from people who are afraid to, and you know what's crazy? Most of these people, some of these people already know what their purpose and calling is, right? So you have a group of people who just still haven't tapped into that lane yet for different reasons. Maybe they still haven't healed, so maybe the trauma and all that stuff just have them scatterbrained so they can't even hear and get their proper downloads, the whole 9 yards, right? But then you have a group of individuals who know. They know that God has given them a voice that will bless anybody who's hurting or in agony the minute they open their mouths. I have actually not a friend. I have an employee like that. Listen. It can be one of those days where I got so much on my shoulders, and I'm talking about it's heavy. It's heavy. And if I happen to have to go over there that day, the minute she opens her mouth and starts singing, it just soothed my anxiety. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, girl, listen, you think God gave you that particular? Your voice is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But more than beautiful, it soothes. You got people who are turning to drugs because they need to be soothed. But God gave in other things because they need to be soothed. But God gave you a voice. And what have the enemy done? Made you the most insecure, one of the most insecure individuals. The same young lady who I spoke about on the prior recording in regards to being a beautiful plus size girl. I mean, beautiful, right? And I only say plus size because I want you guys to know that there's this misconception that men only like size 2 women. All you size 2 chicks, do your thing, you sexy boo, right? Okay, but like I always say, one of my legs won't get into a size 2, but we're good up over here, right? Okay. So, Satan has targeted her weight, or let me say this, has targeted her mind to be insecure about her weight. Also have experienced a great deal of trauma in childhood. All right. So then that's another blow. Boom. So you got all that going on. But you have a voice that will soothe the world, the hurting, the lost, the broken. You can go into a crack house and sing these people over to God. But Satan is telling you, you're too fat, you're too this. If you get on the stage, people are... He targets the area. So if you're insecure about a thing, how in the world could you go up on anybody's stage, or not, even if it's not a stage, enter a room where there's individuals who God is calling you to use that voice for? Nursing homes. These people who are transitioning. Do you know how much that will soothe their soul as they're transitioning? Sometimes it takes people days to transition. Won't even let go because it's a struggle between, not even a struggle, I'm sorry, a tug between earth and heaven, earth and heaven, earth and heaven. They still have family. They still have, things that maybe have not been settled. So they're trying to hang on. Or some are just afraid because they don't know what's on the other side. But if you're in that room and you're singing this beautiful gospel, you will help them to be okay. Help them to feel safe. I don't even know why I'm on this. One of y'all must be got a voice you're supposed to be using. I promise you, this singing thing was not even like, I'm going more towards motivational speaking and making YouTube recordings and things like that, starting your own business and company. I don't know why I'm stuck on the singing thing. So one of you guys, this is your conviction. So anyway, I have a friend. She may comment, she may not comment, she's on here. I tell her all the time, I would pay for her patience. Literally. And I know God, God can give us whatever. He gives us patience. He can grace me with patience. But I'm tired. Well, nope. Let me take that back. I was going to say I'm tired of dealing with the test of the patience in order to get the patience. Let me take that back because I'm so much better. I'm so much better with patience. But my point is when I say if I can pay for patience, meaning I can pay for it and get it and don't have to take the test. But that's God. Listen, you're not going to get anything without taking tests and be thrown up against it. You have to master it. There's just no way around it. So I'm almost there. Keep your girl in prayer. I'm so much better, I promise you. But her patience game is something I've never seen before. But another one who is super beautiful but fearful. Fearful. Trauma, of course, in childhood. So because individuals have never healed from the trauma, for whatever reason, there's tons of reasons on why people still haven't healed yet, right? It's like you have a gift that will help so many people not give up on their marriage so quickly. Now, I'm not saying that there's times you don't need to give up. I'm not saying that. That's a whole different topic, different day. But I do feel like some, all caps, some individuals give up too quickly on relationships or marriage because we don't see the results as quick as we would like. But if people have patience, right, even if they don't have patience, right, they might be in the lane with me, meaning they're fearless, but they struggle with patience, right? Because we all got our strength and our weaknesses. But for you to start making YouTube recordings, for you to start writing a book, for you to start motivational speaking in that area, for you to, even if you want to start small, because now I'm going to be honest here. God is so gentle, right? He may just want you to start small. So that means for you to just start counseling 1 and 2 people that you know personally within their marriage, right? Because you've been married, I believe, 10 plus years now, which is almost unheard of nowadays, right? I know your struggles. You're madly in love with your spouse, but I know the struggles, but I also know how strong your patience game is, and I see how that has kept your marriage on solid grounds, even through turbulent times. How many marriages or people you can help to say, hey, I've been here. Right here where you're coming at in this office telling me what you're going through, I've been there and I wanted to choke my husband. But let me tell you, sis, it gets better. Let me tell you, bro, it gets better. Stop rising up because you're making it worse. Stop rising up and be the peace, because peace attracts peace. But if you're rising up out of frustration, which you probably have every right to be, what's going to get solved? Well, hold on, listen, that's her lane. That's why I keep encouraging her to do. But fearful, almost trembling type of fearful. So what does Satan do? He attacks the area that you're called and your purpose for. You have what people need. And once you start small, because that's a gift from God to bless others, naturally, people, things, wealth, contracts will gravitate naturally towards you, because it's not about you. You're cute, boo, but it ain't about you. It's about God making sure his people are getting served. So why would you have to go look for anything, look for clientele, when it's already designed to find you? But we stay so in bondage and refuse to push past that fear, knowing that that's a God-given purpose calling. We rather stay in bondage and work for the wicked man, getting scraps because it's easier. It's easier. We don't have a whole lot of responsibility, right? We just clock in, clock out, go home. When we leave here, I don't even got to think about it. I get to go home. It's easier. We got to rise up and take what's ours. Point blank, period. Take. I've been in some situations, not a lot, that everything on paper said there's just no way. You got head honchos against you. There's no way. You're the only black person in this room. There is no way. You will never, not against the other sitting in this room. There's just no way, right? That's what flesh said. But spirit, again, I'm spirit led, so I didn't have to go home and read a scripture. I heard very clearly. You stay there, and when you get in the room, you walk like you're my child. You walk with confidence. You look them in their eyes. I don't care who they are and what they got. I sent you there. I know what the individuals on the opposite side of that contract needs. They don't need wicked white men. Respectfully. That's just a term they don't need wicked white men. They have the power in the flesh, but you have the power in the spirit. Now, if I had cowered and listened to the enemy, I would have said, excuse me for a moment, and left and never came back. Or I can trust my God to know that he moved mountains, and I'm going to sit myself right there, look you in your eyes. I don't care your name. I don't care how many. I don't care, because I'm not listening to you. God is in my ear. Guess who walked out of those places with the contract? But you see how we can miss our blessings because when we, and it's not to say, let's be real now, right? Because I'm a realist. It's not to say I wasn't fearful. It's not to say that. It's to say that I decided to push past the fear. I decided this was not supposed to be a long recording, so y'all better tap in because somebody needs this. My spirit won't let me go. Okay. It's not to say I wasn't fearful. It was to say that I choose to trust God over my fear. At this point, I'm not even thinking about the contract or money or business. I'm thinking now about obedience. God says sit, you sit. I don't care what your flesh is telling you. If God says sit, you sit. If God says move, you move. Point blank, period. If you got, some of you, because I read through some of your emails this morning. I know a lot of people say they're struggling with obedience. And the only reason why you're struggling with obedience is because it's fearful. Because see, when God is telling you to move, he's not telling you to go to the corner store and get him a pack of M&Ms, honey. He's going to tell you to do this. It's going to snatch your edges, blow your mind. And you're like, Lord, okay, can I take a shot of tequila before I do it? Nope. If you touch it, I broke your finger. He told me that one time, for real. I was about to go on stage, and that crowd was a little bigger than what I was used to. And honey, I was like, hold up, bring your girl a shot of Jose. Girl, touch it if you want. I'm going to broke your finger. Okay, say no more. The spirit to give me a buzz. Okay, we're good. All right. So that's why you're fearful. I'm sorry. That's why you're afraid to be obedient. So if I can encourage you guys to do anything, please, I'm begging you, take the first step on the one thing that is causing you to be extremely fearful. The one area that the enemy is targeting. That's your area. Listen, I said this like in one of my recordings last year, and this is a true story. As many compliments as I get about how well I speak from you guys, or if I'm on stage or whatever, right? I keep hearing I speak so well. My voice just dominates and X, Y, and Z. Do you know one of my biggest insecurities years ago was not my voice per se, but more my tone, my delivery. Satan will well, he still tries to. I know how to silence him out now, but he would literally target me. I would go back and listen to my recordings and delete recordings because I'm like, oh my God, why do I feel like I'm fussing at people? I don't have children. Why am I fussing at people? God, what is this? And so I had a conference about 5 years ago. And the young lady who's now in heaven, rest in peace, Wanzetta, she stood up in the conference. I had shared in the conference exactly what I shared with you guys, because I've been trying to get people to understand that the one area that they most likely are called to will be attacked. So I was sharing with the audience this very thing I'm saying. And she said to me, she said, Kizzy, I've known you since school. And you've always had that voice to carry. You've always had that voice to just dominate. He said, I hope you now understand why God gave you that powerful voice. So here I am sitting here thinking, and of course, and see, oh, I just received that. This is why, see, the thing about it is, once you tap into the purpose, then it all makes sense. When you start moving in purpose, then it all makes sense. But if you haven't discovered it yet, this is why it's hitting you the way it's hitting you, and you're all insecure about it because you don't even realize that it's used for purpose. So that's why you're insecure in that area, because you're thinking it's just you in this thing and you're that way for the rest of your life, not even understanding that it will be used for purpose. So now you can see it. How I see it now is, okay, if God is going to call you to pour into people, mind you, most people say they want help, but then they really waste your time, and so sometimes that's going to require you to speak with authority. And when I kept pushing, well, first of all, I was convicted because God had already been clear and told me to stop, erasing my recordings, and I would still go back and I'll be halfway through. I'm like, oh, it'll be just this one sentence that I said a little too, and I'll go to hit the delete button, and I'll get so convicted. Leave it up. And you know why? Now I know, after he gave me download, the very same recording that you're going to delete is the very recording that someone's going to need. And some of those same recordings were the most those were the recordings that had the most volume, believe it or not. So you see, he will target you. He's strategic. He's petty. He's ugly. He gets on, and I don't even believe there's nobody ugly. Satan is ugly. But what are you going to do? Are you going to let him defeat you? I mean, you're just going to take that? You won't let nobody bother your kids, right? Even my most meek, quiet, shy. Let somebody bother your kids. But you're going to let him just take your whole life? Your wealth that's laid out for you because a lot of our ancestors just didn't have the tools to get it? You're going to just let your kids struggle and work to McDonald's, no disrespect to McDonald's, work to McDonald's 30 years because no one else in the family have ever been fearless enough to push past that fear of the unknown? Sometimes God will push you into purpose. And that is not as cute as it sounds. That means the rug is going to be snatched from under you. And then you're going to be on your face, crying, breaking down. Oh, this is attack. And really, it's just all about God having to snatch the rug, let you sit in that down season for a minute so you can hear him after you're finished fighting. And then he dropped a download in your spirit, like you sitting here crying about a job that a high school child can get that I took from you because I want you to open that business. I want you to sit still in the season so I can give you a download on how your purpose and your calling will make you money. And sometimes it won't make you any money for a while. And that's fine because you're not doing it to make money. But eventually it will come. So, I ask you guys, what has God been calling you to do? And you know it because it won't leave you. I always tell people, if you wanted to run from purpose, you couldn't. It won't leave you alone. I've walked away from stages. I've walked away from YouTube. I'm not doing it no more. I'm tired of people. They don't support when people are trying to help their little... Nope. I'm focusing on my health care. Nope. I'm not pouring into... Nope. Child, please. Same thing with this recording. I'm not supposed to be recording. I said, nope, I'm not going to make any recordings on YouTube. And as soon as I tried to get dressed to go to breakfast, make a recording. And now I said I wasn't going to be long. How long have I been? I literally said I wasn't going to be long. I'm already at 26 minutes. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share this. It was heavy on my spirit, so somebody needs it. Whatever your purpose is, whatever your calling is, if you're still struggling with identifying that, purpose will not leave you. It's the one thing that you do so naturally. You will do it for free if you have to. And it's not equivalent to something you like. For example, you might just be somebody who likes to, I don't know, sew, crochet, whatever. Like you just love to do that, like because it gives you like this peace of mind when you do it, and you can knit and you can do all this other stuff. Just because you like it and just because you do it well and you're talented at it, it may not be your purpose. I mean, it could be, but it may not even be your purpose. So be sure that you're not just thinking or assuming because you do something well, that's your purpose. Your purpose will always be tied to helping others. When you do it, it will, whatever the thing is, when you do it, it will fulfill your entire being more than anything. So someone can come to you and need it for free. Okay, there's no money involved. You could be beat down tired and don't feel like it, but you're pulled to do it. And when you do it, it's so natural and it feels so good. Lastly, as I always say, purpose can be very subtle. Don't compare yourself to others who have lights, camera, action, fireworks, all this, because most of those individuals would rather have more of a subtle purpose. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. So I hope that this encouraged someone, because 2022 is just, I got so many downloads spiritually. 2022 is just that year. It's 2022 is a powerful number in general, but this is the year. If you're spiritually aligned, God will move, but you have to be in alignment. This is the year to take every single thing that has been on hold and delayed, because for whatever reason, we can have 1,000 reasons. We ain't going to even get into all that. But the point is, this is the year. But you have to get your mind made up. God is not going to push you. He's not going to come behind you and push you. Ask for grace. You have not because you ask not. Ask for grace. God, I'm very fearful in the area of public speaking. Can you please give me grace? Well, first and foremost, can you please give me grace to identify my purpose and my calling? What is my purpose and my calling? Then, can you please give me grace to be fearless? Grace to obey you, regardless if I'm fearless. So ask for grace for every little thing. If he's asking you to leave your job, I'm not telling you to leave your job, I'm saying, if he's asking you to leave your job, can you give me grace to be okay with the unknown? Many people are stuck in many situations because of the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's on the other side. I don't know what's on the other side. If I relocate, I don't know what's on the other side. If I leave this toxic relation, I don't know what's... You said it's better, but I don't know. So, I hope this helps you guys. I gotta go, but thank you guys for listening. So again, I ask, how bad do you want it? It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.